All right. Another episode in our product backlog management playlist here. I'm Ryan, that's Todd. Today we're talking about Kano, and actually the Kano model. We're hoping that this series helps you build better backlogs, understand the practice of building product backlogs. Like and subscribe, let us know what you think, leave us your comments. Maybe you have some great practices too. We'll take a look as well. Todd, Kano model. I think this is a favorite of yours. When we were putting together our version of a product backlog management course years ago, this is one that you immediately brought to the forefront. I hadn't thought about in years. What is it about Kano that you like and that has caused you to keep on using it?
So Kano model is really robust. There's a lot more to it than what we're going to address in this video. We encourage you to do it. This is going to be a highlight of it. I like to think in this way. You can also use this. The intention of the Kano model is that you send a questionnaire to users or potential users, and then you categorize them in, you would categorize them based off of like an emotional response. And so Kano model has, so I have an example of some questions you might ask in a questionnaire. There's a standardized format for the questionnaire that you would send out through the Kano model. I've done this with users in the past. So it's just like, it would be like, how would you feel if something existed? How would you feel if there was more of? What if this didn't exist? And how would you feel if there was less of? And we'll get into a little bit of the why you would do that at the end of this video. And then there's five different response types. Delighter. This is something that surprises a user or customer, something that is delightful to them. Performance, we need as many of these as possible. We're going to give an example about the iPhone. Must have, these are the things that the user absolutely has to have. They just won't accept your product if they don't have it. Indifferent, these are things that the user doesn't care either way. And reverse are potential features that dissatisfy having them there. For the purpose of the example that we're going to give about the Kano model today, developed by Noriko Kano, we're going to talk about the iPhone from 2007. Cool. And so what we've done is we've imagined that we're back in 2007 and maybe Steve Jobs sent out a questionnaire. I don't think he did, but maybe this is just a line of thought that went into the iPhone about how we would categorize these and must-have, performance, and delighters, and we have some features to share here.
Cool. Very good. Thanks for the overview. So iPhone 1 back in 2007, where do you want to start?
So in iPhone, if you think of the very first version of the iPhone, there were things that a mobile phone had to have, right? What were some things, Ryan? Just shout them out without me revealing this thing.
So I think for these things, I mean, this is a much newer version. It had to actually be a phone, like you had to be able to make a phone call, right? I think you needed to be able to have some kind of access to voicemail. I think you needed some kind of way to text, like on some kind of keyboard or screen. I think you needed a digital screen. I would say you needed back then maybe a way to play your music, maybe a camera.
Yeah, you know, I don't think music existed on phones then, did it?
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know if it did. Cameras, I think, were universal.
Yep.
Maybe the game Snake. The game Snake. I don't know if music was on phones yet for iPhone. We'd have to double check and see if there was anything in the market with music on the phones. But
I did okay though. I think I got a few of them.
Yeah, very big. You wouldn't go to the store in 2007 or 2006, let's say, the year before it released, and you wouldn't buy a phone that didn't have these things, right? And then from the iPhone perspective, there's these performance ones, right? Copy and paste was not in the first iPhone, right?
Right. That is an interesting fact. You could not copy and paste anything out of iPhone 1.
Yeah, crazy. Then a high resolution camera rather than like a regular resolution. I have that one here twice. Maybe an increase in battery life could be something performance. We want as much of that as we possibly can. Maybe an increase in memory. These are as many as these things we want. We'd like. What were some delighters in the iPhone one? I'll move this aside. What do you think? There were some delighters there. This wasn't there. The App Store was not there.
music, GPS, Apple ecosystem, browsing the internet. Maybe
Yeah.
those were some new novel things that made people kind of go, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. 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 These are things that didn't exist before, right? Like it's like I guess the advent of the iPod, really, right? It's like an iPod with a phone and the ability to make calls and GPS and to be able to browse the internet. So these three categorically, I think everybody hopefully can understand the difference between them. But what's been interesting over the time, would you buy an iPhone right now, or let's say a smartphone? Would you buy any smartphone that didn't contain any of these features?
No.
Yeah. So from an emotional response perspective, like these tend to fall down into the must-haves over time,
Yep.
right? And so what you would traditionally do with Kano model is you would send out a questionnaire, and then you would categorize based off of the results of that questionnaire. There's a method to sending that questionnaire. We encourage you to go out and check that method out, and they would fall into these categories, and that would help you order your product backlog. Help you, but not a guarantee. Right, we're just surveying customers, potential customers, to understand maybe what some satisfaction gaps are if you're looking at some new customers or even existing customers, right? Like, so from an evidence-based management perspective, it'd be trying to understand where there might be unrealized value out there. You might be also looking at how your current customers are operating or your current features are. Should we have some more of these things? And is there any opportunity to capture any additional current value, right? So this is all about value and getting some information from your customers. Remember, nothing is a guarantee, right? Nothing is a guarantee here.
Yeah. Nothing's guaranteed until you release and get feedback, right? And even
Yeah.
then it can change. As Todd said, delighters can become must-haves. Must-haves could someday turn into the reverse or the negative. That's why we're continually inspecting and adapting all of our assumptions, right?
Yeah, 100%. And this was a quick flyover of the Kano model. We encourage you to go check out more of it, and maybe just even this line of thinking, which I like to think about. Is what I'm thinking about a delight or a performance or a must-have? Is something interesting to you? But this is a more robust model that you should check out and get some additional information on.
And I just think it's a great way to visualize the things that you're assuming, that you're thinking about, and you can work with others on this as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Todd. A great tool, an old tool, but simple and effective. I think those are two good characteristics of it.
Yes, sir.
All right. We hope you liked this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes in our product backlog management series. Check out the socials. We do a lot out there in the Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn world. Some videos are going to pop up. We think that you're going to like them as well. Be sure to check out the description of this video to learn more about the new Professional Scrum Product Backlog Management Skills course that Todd and I are teaching. And yeah, go forward, do some great things here. Use Kano, understand in your work and how to perhaps order it. And we'll see you next time.